So online, I've been seeing a lot of comments, concerns, questions, and some frustrations about the recent updates from the Blue Protocol devs regarding monetization. And I want to sit down and address it with you guys today and talk to you guys about it, because this is actually very natural. Having covered and really followed a lot of different games online, I'm here to tell you right now that what is happening and what's going to happen here over the course of the next couple months is all almost in a way predictable. It's a process in which that gamers go through. You can almost think of this as a gamer's acceptance curve, but put on steroids, namely because you also have the incentive of the YouTube algorithm and the content creation algorithm incentivizing this conversation, because it's what gamers are talking about, and then it becomes what social media influencers are talking about. Thus, it becomes the narrative. And hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name's Brian if you're new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, well, today my name's John. I'm just joking. It's still Brian, but thank you guys so much for coming in and checking out today's video. We're talking about, kind of in a way, the fear mongering that will persist until Blue Protocol is out in the wild and until you can actually go hands-on with it. In a way, also, we're talking about how there's going to be a very big difference, because you're going to have the Japanese version and you're going to have also the global version, in which that we will see some different changes. It might not necessarily all be cosmetic. We also see changes with the store and things like that within the game itself. And so there, in a way, is going to be a very difficult thing that I'm going to have to do as a content creator, is just make sure that I can help educate people on what this game is. So first and foremost, why will there be fear mongering? Well, because naturally, as more information comes out, the illusions that we build up in our mind have to face the reality of what the game is. And the game is a free-to-play action MMORPG with a cash shop and with gacha mechanics and with all these things. Now, is this going to be a problem, though? And the answer really is, it depends. It really just depends, because everybody's going to have kind of that personal litmus test when it comes to video game monetization. So here's what's going to happen next, though. Next is going to be kind of the round of, is it pay to win? Is it not pay to win? The fear mongering and the concerns that players are going to have, because they won't be able to go hands-on with the product for at least several months, if not at least sometime around a year. We know that the game here in global version is going to launch in 2023, and the beta's probably this spring as well. And that in and of itself is going to be a time in which that the playground shifts from, oh, this game's going to be incredible, to this game is going to be doomed, because that is what's going to get the engagement. What choice do you have in this matter? Well, you can choose to try and educate and try to understand the system in and of itself as best as you can. You can choose to disengage, but at the end of the day, once the advertising and the marketing dollars start getting spent, that kind of conversation is going to go away, because the hype is going to shift from, like if we kind of define hype as kind of what is the heartbeat of the community at any one point in time. Right now, that heartbeat is concern. Like, what does this really mean? Now, when you ask the vast majority of people, they don't have problems with, cash shop cosmetics and gacha cosmetic only items. It all is going to come down to, is this game going to feel pay to win or not? And you won't be able to know that until you can actually go hands on with it. And that's almost the unfortunate reality in which we live in today. Now, here's my thought process. This is how I approach each and every one of these games, whether they're free, whether they're buy to play, whether there's a subscription model. There's n number of systems out there, and there's my preference to what I always end up kind of feeling is the most fair, but also then the business and game analyst in me understands why the subscription model isn't the predefined and winning model within MMOs. And perhaps we should just do a focused video and discussion on that here this week. I've seen a couple comments about that already, and honestly, I think they're quite really well worded and well thought out. So something to explore here on the channel in the near future. But let's get back to kind of the item in hand, right? How I approach this, how I address this, how do I manage myself with a free to play or any kind of system in which that there's additional monetization rules. I always look at it as $1 per hour of fun. Am I having fun in this game? If I am, Well, a part of me understands that a game needs to make money to be able to survive. There's no individual stand. There's no way that I'm going to sit down and change how business marketing works, because if you're like supporting MTX at all means you're a part of the problem. I present to you the reality of that situation of you are a grain of sand on the beach, and everybody who's willing to spend money is the ocean. And that is the reality of the situation we live in. So free to play and microtransactions aren't going anywhere. Also, clearly this is going to have loot boxes, which will restrict them from certain countries. We know this for a fact, but here in the West, here in America, that's not going anywhere. And I do wonder now if we'll start to see that kind of return as we've seen some of the anger around loot boxes subside. But here I am, an adult with the ability to control my spending. If you are an adult who does not have the ability to control their spending, I'm sorry to kind of like the tough love guy in me needs to tell you, avoid games that ask for money. If you cannot manage this, like if it's too much pressure, if it ends up causing you stress, like these are the things to avoid. Stick with a fully featured game that you can buy once and play forever. That could be something like New World. That could be something like Elden Ring. There's lots of really good options out there still, which is a real good thing. And one of the concerns I've had for gaming in a long time, because when you see just how much money the free-to-play mobile market makes, the fact that we get these really full-featured, really like deep games still today for the cost and risk that they present, for the reward being not as good as those mobile games, it really is a great time to be a gamer, in my opinion. But I am personally able to control my spending. I have yet to run up into a game in a situation where I'm willing to risk my family's financial ability. And so I have this approach. But then also, to speak honestly and clearly, when I, as a parent, I make sure that my kids don't get exposed to these kind of monetization systems. Another video that I want to work on is kind of the generational issue that has actually happened. And that's where I see a lot of the frustration come in. Why does this game have to be free to play? Well, I wish it was buy to play. I wish every game was buy to play. I would even like the option in a free to play game just to buy it. But clearly that's something we get restricted, on time and time again. But I'm not here to waste your time. I just kind of wanted to sit down today and talk to you guys about how I look at this stuff, how the internet looks at this stuff, what is literally going to be happening in your YouTube feed, in your Reddit feed, in your Twitter feed. Like, you're going to see a lot of this stuff, and just note that it's just a part of the process as people kind of grieve on this acceptance curve of, okay, it's not maybe what I thought it was, or it's not, kind of the perfect model that I've envisioned in my head, not the utopian, MMO or online RPG game that I was expecting. But it does have its potential. It does have its ability to be that, but we won't really know until we go hands-on. So don't worry about any of the videos that you see out there. Don't let it cause you stress. If you guys are worried or concerned, trust me, it's all part of the process. When you start going hands-on, the hype on the positive side will kick in to a degree that it really doesn't matter. You're going to try it anyway because the barrier for entry is low. And, that's kind of the beauty of the model, because if you're not having fun and you're not liking the game, well, just don't give it any money. That's the solution, right? Anyway, guys, I wish you all the very best. If you guys have any questions, sound off below. You made it to this part of the video. Sound off with Soul Nation somewhere in your comment. That way I know that you made it here to the secret call out of action. And guys, if you want more Blue Protocol in your feed, check out Ginger Blue Gaming. Thank you guys so much for pushing it into where I've now finally applied that channel for partnership. That's where you're going to get all the news guides, more, so much more. We'll keep our MMO, discussions and game discussions still rocking and rolling on this channel. But guys, thank you so much for your time today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.